You know, Vortex, I was just thinking about mental illness in relation to following the rules. Now, I know I've talked about this before in relation to Sigmund Freud, because Sigmund Freud, speaking of authority, right? Sigmund Freud accused anybody that was the slightest bit skeptical about his treatment methods, he accused them of being resistant, okay? Now, apparently, you're a sociopath if you don't follow the rules. If you break the rules, that is thought to be antisocial behavior. I just find that interesting. Like, I don't really know why antisocial personality is in that same cluster. Because I feel like they need to call it something else. Because it's not antisocial, because in order for them to break the rules, there have to be rules to break in society. So you can call that antisocial, but what if that person's just questioning things and they don't like the answer that they receive? Or maybe authority doesn't have an answer for them. Well, I'm not just taking this shit personally. I try not to take anything personally. So when people make comments, I realize, okay, they don't know who they're talking to. Obviously. But it's like, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Because if you don't, it'll just drive you insane. The fact that so many people think that they can tell other people what to do. You know? But I don't think that makes you antisocial and not want to follow the rules of society unless it's directly hurting somebody in society. They'll tell you, though, oh, well, if you don't do this, that hurts society. Because they want you to conform. They want you to march in lockstep like everybody else. And if you don't, well, you're just a bad person. I think you know what we're talking about here. Why are you going so slow? Dodge. Oh, look. We're trying to get people. Pick a lane, dude. Pick a lane. Is this it? Is this your lane? Okay, good. I think I might switch lanes. But, you see, I'm not antisocial. I follow some of the rules. Though I don't think that that's a rule, is it? Like, you don't have to use your turn signal. It's just, you're a much better person if you do. I mean, I have no problem following rules if it helps the community to follow rules. But if they're just saying that shit in order to guilt me into doing something that doesn't make sense, like take a fucking shot and I don't even know what the fuck's in it, and they can print the ingredients on the fucking CDC website, that doesn't mean I believe the CDC. So, like, basically, my general idea of the world when I was very young was that there were people that were trying to control everybody, and those people were fine with it. I mean, people don't mind being controlled, especially if they don't make it that obvious. But it's just little things, you know, like these rules that people follow in society, these social norms. People think that they have to go along with it. They think they have to abide, but they don't. They don't have to do anything. And for all this talk about our ancestors, I mean, I feel like our ancestors must be turning in their fucking grave just looking at Americans, like, staring at screens all the time, just letting themselves be mindlessly entertained by the same people that are raping their kids. You know? I don't think that people understand that all of these things are correlated. If you connect the dots, and there are a lot of dots to connect, you know, it would probably depress you to the point of suicide. So I can understand why people don't do it. But if they can control what mental illness is, if they can say, oh, well, you're exhibiting antisocial behavior because you refuse to wear your seatbelt. You're exhibiting antisocial behavior or narcissistic behavior, as if they give a fuck about narcissism. But let's keep going. You're exhibiting narcissistic behavior because you refuse to get a vaccine, you know? They can have normal ass people, whatever that means, people more well adjusted, people that do this stupid shit that they're just suggested to do. They're suggested, hey, you should do this. You should do this. Like women, for example. Women want a big ass wedding, and they want everybody to see them in that dress on their special day that they do nothing but stress about for like 6 months prior to that one special day. It's so stupid, dude. Like, women are the dumbest people in the world. I mean, just to fall for that. To fall for that. To think that, like, the wedding day is more important than the marriage itself. But I feel like that is so much of what our society is. You know, we obsess about rites of passages. But the rites of passage itself does not mean as much as, you know, whatever that thing represents. So that holiday or that special event, that ain't shit compared to, like, the responsibility involved. But yeah, I don't think that we're trained as Americans to think like that. We're always trained to just look at the smaller aspect of everything rather than focus on the bigger picture. You know? But I was just thinking about that relation to, like, antisocial behavior. Like, it's just so easy to convince people that, you know, that want to fit in with society. That, oh, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to be on Facebook, if you don't want to get a smartphone, if you don't want to take a piss in a toilet, you'd rather do that shit outside, you know? Oh, well, you're just a bad person. You're a crazy person. You're a crazy person with no morals and no ethics and no social or universal obligations or whatever the fuck, you know? It's like if you choose not to have kids, or you choose to be a monk or some shit, you know? Like, not going along with society is grounds for getting called all kinds of names, which is fine. I mean, I'm fine with it, but most people are not, because they want to fit in, because they're fucking plebeian sheep, and I'm going to keep on shaming them. Because it's just so annoying being around them all the time. People that don't question any motherfucking thing, and then they want to reprimand you and act like you're a bad person. Because you don't just allow yourself to get injected with crap, or you just don't eat crap, you know? It's just really important to think for yourself. And I feel like that's so lost on most people. They don't have good examples of what that means, and unfortunately everybody needs an example, don't they? Can't rely on themselves for shit!